when he opened the door to let us in, I had to actually put my hands on the door frame and climb up because there was so much rubbish on the floor. And walking down the hallway, I had to actually duck down because my head was hitting off the ceiling. That's how high up I was just walking on the rubbish. Hi, I'm Jules Given from MJ Cleaning Services and welcome to the Ideal Home Show YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about something that's deeply personal and incredibly important. And that's understanding hoarding, its connection to mental health and how we can approach clutter with compassion and care. This isn't just about cleaning a space, it's about supporting the person who lives in it. I'll share real experience, practical strategies, and the emotional side of helping people reclaim their homes and their lives. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon for more thoughtful, empowering content. I think a lot of people with mental health issues struggle to keep on top of lots of everyday tasks. When it comes to cleaning, it can be the most simple things that people find very difficult on a daily basis. Where we find doing your dishes after your dinner can be a really simple task, it can be so overwhelming for some people. And that's when there is a slight mental health issue there, or it can be very serious depending on what level someone's at. It can be just unable to do dishes, to hoovering, just simple tasks, to even putting something in the bin. You can have a bin sitting right next to you and they can finish eating something and just cannot bring themselves to put it into that bin. They'll literally just drop things where they're sitting. And that's when it can become a mental health issue in relation to cleaning, where they do need to seek help at that point to try and get a wee bit of support, because it can very quickly escalate at that point and the house can become unlivable or just really uncomfortable to be living in at that point as well. I think if you feel you're struggling with mental health and cleaning, the biggest thing you can do is seek support, is tell someone to start with. It can be a family member, a friend, or it can be a complete stranger. Some people can find it very difficult to admit to someone that they're close to that they have a problem, and they can find embarrassment and shame, and they really shouldn't feel like that because everyone suffers from different things in different ways. And it's really just asking for help. But there's so many support systems out there that you can phone, pick up the phone, email, even a text message. If you don't want to speak to someone personally, just reach out to anyone and they will support you. There's social work departments that can help as well. And there's cleaning companies out there. There's so much support. If you just have a wee quick Google search, you'll find something. If you reach out to us, whether we're in your area or not, we will always point you in the right direction to get help that you're looking for, even if it's just a couple of wee hints and tips to get you started to do it yourself, or to bring someone in to give you a hand to do that, because sometimes it can get to a point where it's too overwhelming, you don't know where to start on your own, and just a wee bit of advice from someone else can go a long way, whether it's bringing someone in to help or literally just a wee chat. When I was at college and uni, I had a cleaning job in a high school. That's how I started cleaning. My mum was a cleaning supervisor in the school and got me the job. So I cleaned before and after uni. So I had a wee bit of experience there. I did leave to go to different things, pursue different careers, and I gave up work to have a family. And the plan was, when my children started school, I would go back to work. That was agreement between my husband and I. What actually ended up happening when my youngest daughter was about 6 months old, she was still really small, someone had popped on Facebook looking for a cleaner to help them with a one-off clean. And in my wisdom, I said, oh, I'll do that. I can do that. Sent them a wee message, said, can I take the baby? And she said, yes, no problem, come and help. Did the clean, put my older daughter into school, took the wee one with me, done the clean. By the end of the day, the lady had said to me, oh, you've done a really good job, much better than I thought it was. Could you come every fortnight? I thought, great, wee extra couple of pounds every fortnight. By the end of the day, that night, her friend was on the phone, said, I've just been at my friend's house, could you do the opposite week for me? And I thought, right, that's 5 hours a week, great. That was in July. By October, I had to register as a business and I employed my first member of staff. It kind of snowballed very, very quickly from there. That was in 2016, I think it was. When my daughter turned 3 and finally started nursery, she was telling all her friends, I can't wait to stop working and go to school and nursery and never have to work again, apparently. So she got a wee shock. She's now in primary 6 at school. But yeah, she was delighted to start nursery and stop coming to work as if she worked really hard. From there, we got into different things. It kind of escalated quite quickly. We were doing domestic cleans to start with, quickly went into commercial, holiday lets, different things. Then we started to kind of touch base on people with kind of more complex needs, which is where the kind of mental health cleans started coming in. It just naturally progressed to start with. And then I think word got about that we were kind of specialising in this, that we were very good with people. We looked into it a wee bit more, did like mental health first aid courses, just so we had a wee bit more experience, the best way to help people and what we can do to support them, really. Mostly, I think I felt as if I was helping people more. There's a big difference between just doing a normal domestic clean, a commercial clean, and then helping people with more complex needs where maybe there's a kind of slight hoarding issue or they really aren't looking after themselves properly, and we feel as if we can come in and support them a wee bit more in that aspect. From there, once word started getting about, we started getting phone calls from social work departments, child protection departments, to come in and support service users. From there, we tried to kind of hone in on that and focus on that because very selfishly, it's the most rewarding for us. We get a bigger impact when you see where you start and where you finish, and you get that wow factor. And we know that we're helping people, which is the kind of main thing for us. You're helping people with other cleans as well, obviously, and we do appreciate that and we work well with it. However, I feel when you're doing these cleans, you're helping people at a deeper level, and we support them in other ways as well with whatever they need. We also try to give them homework, just that little bit, wee hints and tips, right, for next week, try and do this for me. And the difference that makes, because sometimes they genuinely don't know. It depends what their background is or what's stopping them from moving forward. Giving them just wee hints and tips and a wee bit of homework to do, like for next week, pop all these bottles in the bin for me. It's amazing the difference. And then they know from now on, every week I'll do that before she comes in. With hoarding jobs, we work with the client. It's very important that you understand the client that you're working with. Everyone's different. A lot of the time with hoarding, it's not a case of we can just go in and bin everything and clear everything out. It's very rarely that. You do get a very rare occasion where a client will say, I just want a fresh start, just get rid of everything, bin it all for me. The majority of the time, there's a reason they hoard, and there's the reason that they hoard certain items as well. Food hoarding is quite a thing with a lot of people. That tends to come from different reasons, different backgrounds. An example of that could be maybe an older client who, as a child, maybe never had anything. They maybe struggled for food and struggled for different items. So now that they can afford it, they can have it, they tend to stockpile it and it just goes out of date and everything goes off because they just have to have it and it makes them feel safe. So trying to kind of break that habit and remove everything. Other things can be silly things, books, DVDs, empty bottles, silly things that to someone else will mean nothing. It can be absolute rubbish to someone, but to someone else it's their whole life. So we have to be very careful and work slowly with the client to make sure that they're happy with what's happening and the pace it's going at. We work with everyone individually and make sure we're going at a pace that suits them. We tend to have to ask every single thing before we put anything in the bin or throw anything out to make sure that they're happy with that. Even the smallest bit of paper, we always ask, can we put this in the bin before we do it, to make sure that they're comfortable with what's happening. And they build up trust that way as well. If you break the trust, that's it, done. And they'll never work with anyone again, never mind yourself. You have to make sure that they know that trust's there and that you're not going to throw anything away without asking them. It's very hard to spot sometimes, and COVID actually made it even more difficult to spot signs. If someone was maybe starting to hoard, you would see that if you were in their house. But with COVID, they had an excuse not to let you in the home anymore. You could very easily say, no, you can't come in. And from there, it's been easier to never let anyone back in your house. We have a few people that haven't actually let anyone in their home for years, and their family members haven't even noticed that this has happened because it's just been such a gradual thing. Oh, I'll come to your house. No, don't come to mine. I'll come and meet you. And there's a reason for that. Chances are that their house isn't habitable at a level that's safe for them. that can be a very clear sign. If they're always making excuses not to let you into their home and you know that no one else is getting in as well, that can be a clear sign that there is an issue there. Also, if you go in and, oh, I haven't done my housework today, if that's an ongoing thing and you can see it slightly getting worse every time, that can be another indicator that there's maybe more going on. Maybe not getting into certain rooms and maybe the living room only, but you can't get in the bedroom. Don't go in the kitchen, I'll make the tea. That can be another issue as well. It's very difficult to spot signs sometimes. I think if you know someone's struggling, try and give them a wee bit of support, a wee bit of help. And it's just about how you go about that. Never make them feel that there's a problem or that you're doing them a favour, because it's never nice to feel that you're relying on someone all the time. So I think coming in and just very subtly helping them, like, oh, I can help you. Do you want me to help you clear that out? Or what are you doing today? We could do this. How about I'll do your dishes for you? You've been really busy. I know you're tired. Small things like that can make a huge difference to someone. And maybe if their dishes have piled up, someone just taking that wee initiative, oh, I'll do them for you. I know how busy you are. I know how tired you are. I'll get them for you today. That can then give them the wee boost that they need to keep on top of it once it's been cleared. I think with the homework aspect that we give people, it can be a small chart. Sometimes we write things down for them for the next time we're here, maybe try and do this, this and this. And it can be just put your lemonade bottles in the bin, take your newspapers out to the recycling. It can be something like that. Or we also tend to try and provide things for people if we're seeing them on a regular basis. Even if it is just a one-off deep clean, we'll maybe like give them bins, put bins in so that we can say, right, put your rubbish in that and then we can take it out for you. Not all the time is it going to work, but sometimes it does. Giving people coat hangers as well. Coat hangers is a big thing that we provide to people a lot of the time just to help them. Or a hook on the back of the door. A lot of people just come in, they dump their jacket and their shoes and they don't pick them back up again. Putting that hook on the back of the door and retraining someone's brain to every time you come in, let's hang it up, let's put it there, let's put our shoes there, and just clearing that space can make a huge difference as well. Other tools we can give them is basically just check-in phone calls as well. It takes 2 seconds for us to phone someone just to say, how are you doing today? Have you done this? Have you done that? Even people that we do a one-off clean for, we'll check in with them in a couple of years or a year later, a couple of months later, depending on the circumstances, and just see how they're doing. And it's not that we're pushing for work. It's not. There are some companies out there that do work like that. I'm sure there is. However, for us, we're very invested in helping people. It takes 2 seconds out of our day to phone someone and ask them how they're doing. And knowing that someone cares and they're getting that little bit of input can make a huge difference as well. The average time we would spend with a client can be anything. We have done hoarding cleans that have taken 2 weeks with full teams in every day to clear everything. It depends on the pace that you have to work at and how slowly you have to go to question them on everything or whether they're willing to let you clear everything. If it's a regular clean once everything's done, an hour, maybe 2 hours, just to keep on top of everything. 2 hours is like an average visit a week. See how they're doing, and we can help them with other things as well. Do you want to go to the shops? We'll come with you. Do you want me to bring anything in for you? That can make a huge difference as well, just to keep on top of things once it's all done. So the biggest hoarding job that we've done was probably one that we went into when you opened the door to let us in. I had to actually put my hands on the door frame and climb up because there was so much rubbish on the floor. And walking down the hallway, I had to actually duck down because my head was hitting off the ceiling. That's how high up I was just walking on the rubbish. You couldn't get into the bedrooms, couldn't get into the kitchen, the living room was piled maybe to ceiling height at some places, at other bits kind of 3/4 of the height of the ceiling, where he was just lying on top of it sleeping. And to clear all that is just such a huge difference. You just know their house is usable again. The house wasn't, the client was living there, but it wasn't a good environment for anyone to be in, to be honest. And the difference that made when everything was cleared out and then to help rebuild the life on a regular basis after that, everything get taken out, removed. A lot of that was just rubbish, so it could just go. And then we got to the level where, right, we have to start working with, what do you need? Then we help support. Let's get you a cooker brought in. Let's get you a microwave. Let's get a bed. Let's get furniture so that you actually have a livable space again. And a lot of that's what we do as well, is to try and source what does this person need and how can we help to support them to get their life back on track and actually live their life again. Thanks so much for watching. If you or someone you love is struggling with hoarding or overwhelming clutter, please know that there is help and there is hope. You can learn more about our services and support at njcleaningservices.net and follow us on social media for our resources and inspiration. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with anyone who needs to hear it.